They looked at the most successful men and women of the world, and they found that they had like 7, 8 things in common. And one of the things they all had in common was a routine. They are obsessed with their routine. They don't have a gap of wasted time in their routine. You know, I realized the reason why I'm so successful and the reason why I don't get in trouble like I used to when I was younger is because when I was younger, man, my schedule had so many gaps in it. The devil had like, okay, he might pray at 6, but my man is watching TV. He playing video games by 8:30. It's not that I'm sweeter than nobody. The devil can't get to me because all my time is taken up, and by the time he get to me, I'm asleep. I'm just being real. 8:30, he like, Eric, you should. I'm like, bro, I'm tired. Come back to me tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, tip me tomorrow, bro. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm good. Like, I'm just tired right now. He's like, but no, you want to? I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm tired. But let's try tomorrow morning.
Need motivation?
What's the top 10 with Believe Nation?
Hey, it's Carmichael, and I make these videos because in my first business, I was making $300 a month. I quit on my business partner, and the thing that saved me was studying the stories of super successful entrepreneurs. So I hope that this story today helps give you the motivation you need, because I still need it too myself.
So today, let's learn from one of the best, Eric Thomas, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
I'm being real. I get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure he there like, I'm 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure he there like, yo, E, go back to sleep. Listen to me. I promise y'all. I got up the other day like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I was just walking around like, cause I was like, I'm so tired. I heard the devil say, go back to sleep. I was like, yeah, you're right. I should go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I was like, bro, you on to something. You know what I'm saying? He's like, why you getting up this early? You already #1 in the world. You're already #1 in the world, E. You already doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, E, you've been grinding, just go ahead, it's 3. And my body said, yo, E, what would you go back to sleep for? I said, I'm tired. My body said, you're not tired. I said, well, why would you say I'm not tired? He said, because you woke up without an alarm clock. You woke yourself up. So if you were tired, your body wouldn't let you get up. If you were tired, your body would make you sleep to 6. You got up, it's 3. No, what you don't want to do is the grind, but you're up. So do me a favor, Eric, you don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to work. You've been getting up at 3 so early in the morning, don't even worry about it. Just put your shoes on, and when you get on the treadmill, it's just gonna do it for you because you've been doing it every day for 3 o'clock in the morning. For real. My body said, all you gotta do is put your shoes on. That's the hardest thing you gotta do. Just put your shoes on and I'll do the rest. I can't put your shoes on for you, but put your shoes on and then just go. And I just went. And I was walking I do the 11 incline, boy, and I was just walking for an hour, and I was just like, you know what, it's almost an hour, I don't feel like running. And my body was like, don't even worry about it, we'll get to that when we get to it. I did my hour, was about to get off, my body was like, you know we run now. I said, what? We run now, let's go. You ain't tired? I said, I am tired. No, you're not, you just walked for an hour. You're not tired, Eric. Your brain is telling you some dumb stuff. If you were tired, you wouldn't have been able to walk for an hour. Okay, so let's do this. Just run for 2 minutes. I'm trying to help somebody right now go to a whole nother level. The Bible says the reason why you go back to sleep is because you've always gone back to sleep. It's like a default. You go back to sleep because all you gotta do is stop going to sleep, and then you're gonna stop going to sleep. All you gotta do is stop fussing and cussing, and you're gonna stop fussing and cussing. All you gotta do is stop spending all the money you got and start saving it. Listen to me, I became #1 in the world. I became a millionaire not because I made more money. I became a millionaire because they told me millionaires only live off of 30% of their income. I wanna make it plain for you. I became a millionaire because I did what millionaires did. I stopped living off 100%. I paid my tithe, and then I was like, all right, E, you only got 20% left. Put the rest up. So the first thing I did, listen to me, the very first thing I did to become rich, somebody said, E, to be rich, put 6 months of your earning to the side. So I was like, all right, bet. That's what the rich told me to do, so I put 6 months to the side. How long did it take? I don't remember, but I put it to the side. Then somebody was like, yo, E, you need to put 100,000 to the side. I was like, all right, 100,000. DD, we're gonna put 100,000 to the side. Then somebody was like, yo, you need to get your credit score up to 800. I was like, all right, then get my credit score up to 800. And then somebody said, ET, if you want to be Tony Robbins, there's no way you'll be able to be like those dudes when you don't have the language they have. You need to go get your master's and a PhD from a white institution. I said, what? I went to Oakwood. I went to HBCU. He was like, yeah, but you didn't learn the language of Zig Ziglar at Oakwood. So Oakwood is a phenomenal place. Oh, y'all not hearing what I'm saying. I just said something and you missed it. Now you need to go to Michigan State University. CJ, you see my master's degree anywhere? What about my PhD? Not in the office? Not at church? You ain't seen it in my house? I didn't go to Michigan State to get a PhD. I went to Michigan State to learn the majority language. You can't speak in corporate when you say ambulance. It doesn't make my community inferior, but I can't. So I went to every single class, and when the teachers was talking, they thought I was just doing homework. I wasn't. I was listening to how they conjugate verbs. I was listening to how they tell stories. I was like, ooh. I peeped it out, y'all. They way more linear. You ever been to a black church before? The pastor, he all over the place. My man told 6 stories. He didn't close none of them. My man had told 6 stories, I promise you. I don't know what you know what I'm saying? But in the hood, you just gotta, you know what, you finish it for him. He was like, this is what he was gonna say. But he never said it though. My man started 6 stories, he ain't finished none story. So that I realized when you do corporate, it's A, B, C, D, E, F. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's topic, body. It's topic, support, conclusion. I didn't go to school. I'm not no kid. I don't need nobody 4.0. I don't need to be affirmed. I don't need your paper on my wall. I need your language, though, if I'm going to compete. I need your rules if I'm going to compete. I need your codes if I'm going to compete. The problem with most of you is you don't have a 1% language. You got a poverty language. No, I want to help you real quick. You think Warren Buffett reading just to be reading? The majority of you are poor because you read poor stuff. You watch poor stuff. You on Instagram watching fights. For real, you just scrolling through like you ain't got a life. For real, some of y'all on Instagram, you on there for 30 minutes. If I ask you what you saw, you don't even know. You just scrolling through. That's a poverty mindset. Rich people don't waste time. They realize it's their most important commodity. They don't watch a lot of TV. They don't do a lot of entertainment. If they're not working, they're studying their craft and getting better at their craft.
Rule number 2 is be greater.
For those of you like me whose mama got pregnant at 17, you can be a billionaire too. It's not a look, it's a mindset. I'm trying to tell you in this room, many of you are not going to take advantage of this, not because you can't, but you don't see yourself as. This is not a person, it's not a race, it's not a color, it's not an age, it's a mindset. They're gonna give you all the information, but if you don't change the way you think. All right, so listen to me very closely. So I started getting around billionaires, and billionaires are considered number 1 in the world. So I had a different mindset. So now the book comes out, number 1 in motivational management and leadership, number 1 in business motivation and self-help books, number 1 in business motivation and self-improvement audiobook, number 1 in ethnic studies. Look, it's a mindset. 1. We don't think number 10, number 20. We think number one. Write down what you're gonna be number 1 in 2023. Write it down. You're gonna change your mindset. Write it down. What are you gonna be in 2020? Number 1 in what? Taking advantage of these leads? What are you gonna be number 1 in? I wanted to be the number 1 motivational speaker in the world. Now that does not mean that nobody else is. I'm just saying, I just gave myself that because I need something to wake up to and something to push for. Does that make sense? What do you need to be number 1 in? Mentality, I just want to show you. Poor versus rich. 1 kills time, 1 invests in time. 1 buys luxurious stuff, 1 buys assets. 1 is indecisive, 1 decides often. 1 they get paid weekly, 1 get paid daily if they want to. Scarcity mindset, the other one has an abundant mindset. 1 plans for the weekend, the other one plans for their future. 1 is a consumer, 1 is a producer. Yep, Bill Gates became a billionaire. Why? Because he took a computer from a business and put it in your home. Now you can use it. He solved the problem. People who couldn't get access to information, he created a laptop, and then boom, now in your house, you can, and so kids can. I got my dissertation, y'all, I never went to a library. When I was coming up as a kid, there was no way to read without going to the library. I know I'm old, Dewey Decimal System. I don't know. You remember when you had to 0, 0, 4, 3, 5, 2? You like, Lord, floor 3, you up on the 3rd floor. You're like, that ain't it. Okay, I'm still on the other side. Right? Remember when you used to copy and you could never get the middle part? You got to figure out what the middle word said. You couldn't quite open the book and get that. Like, you don't have to do that no more. You just go online, boom. Somebody created, there's something you're going to solve in this industry. So you're going to learn from them, and then you're going to create another solution to something and call that Solution University. You're going to have your own university. You're going to learn from them. You're going to have your own conferences. You're going to have your own books. Does that make sense? Who's ready to be number one in this industry? Let me see your hand. Come on. What's the song say? I'm sorry, I forgot. Land of the, home of the. I don't know if you caught that. One more time. Land of the, but the home of the. You might have missed it. You've been singing it for a long time. You're not paying attention. It is definitely the land of the, but it's only the home of the. The American dream is real, but they're not passing it out. They're not giving it away. It's real, but you got to go get it. All right, do me a favor. Let's go. Stop complaining. You don't have time. 168 hours per week, 48 hours at work, 7 hours at the gym, 56 hours of sleep, 65 hours left. You do all of this right here. You still got 65 hours left. Act today. Use your time wisely. Mental toughness is about what you do when you're under stress and you're under pressure. Told y'all, Mike Tyson, I never seen Mike Tyson lose but once, and he lost to a buster. Imagine Mike Tyson, your first loss is to a buster. I want to lose to Zeus, Hercules. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got beat by Hercules. Can't nobody say nothing about that. But you got beat by a buster, and that buster never won another fight. But you know why Buster beat Mike Tyson? Because 3 days before he fought Mike Tyson, his mama was in a beauty salon bragging about how her son was going to beat Mike Tyson. Buster Douglas, how did you do it? He said he hurt me when he knocked me down, but that pain I felt when he knocked me down was not greater than the pain I would have felt if I let my mama down. On the great days, be great. And on the bad days, be greater.
Rule number 3 is get motivated.
You have to understand that there are times that I speak, for instance, in prisons, and I'm talking to individuals who will spend the rest of their lives in prison, and they don't have options. They don't have a lot of choice. That what I do when I come in is I provide a sense of hope, and I provide some inspiration, but I'm not able to help them to bring about the change that they want to see happen. And I'm so excited to be in this room because the words that I say in this moment can fuel the rest of your life, right? So I'm so excited. Like, that for me, this isn't like I won't ask you for anything over the next hour other than the things that are going to take you to the next level. But I'm excited because when I leave, I literally have, we may never see each other again, but I have the ability when you walk out of this room to make you operate in a way you've never operated before. And once you do that, because I know if you're in this room, I know there's something special about you, that once you leave this room and you go from 70 to 120%, there are gonna be some things that happen in your life that didn't happen before, not because you didn't have the ability. So this is not an ability room. Like, this is not, we're not talking about ability. We're talking about activating this greatness that's in us. Your abilities are your abilities. I'm not gonna be able to today, I'm not gonna be able to help you to do anything that you do better. Like, I'm not gonna be able to give you a gift that you don't have. But what I will be able to do is help you today operate in a way you've never operated before, right? I will help you to operate in a way you've never operated before. I'm gonna help you to do some things that you've never done in your life before, and as a result, you're gonna be able to go to a whole new level. So we have to start here. We have to start here. Just write down those things, 1 or 2 or 3 things that you have to desperately get done before this year ends. It's desperation. I don't have a choice. I don't have an option. You got to get that done. Got it. Like, I just want you, and I'm not talking about stuff that's kind of important. I'm talking about the stuff that has got it, the ball's dropping and you can't keep talking about it. Like, you will not be able to rest if you didn't get this done. I want you to write that down. I want you to write that. That's where we're starting. I want you to write that down. E.T., like, I got to get this done, E. Like, E, this is no option. This is not like a vacation. This is not, just making a couple more dollars for the sake of buying a car, a house. Like, E, this is some life and death stuff, E. Like, this is some change the trajectory of my life stuff, E. This is like, it's gonna put me in a place like where I'm just gonna be able to get to that place that I've been trying to get to. I want you to write that down.
Rule number 4 is take action now.
I'm not number one in the world, guys, because somebody told me to go on YouTube. Nobody told me to go on YouTube. There was a recession. Ford, GM, Chrysler went down, and I just thought, what up? I just started motivating people on Monday. It's your boy, E.T. Bump, thank God it's Friday. There is no thank God it's Friday without thank God it's Monday. You don't have no money on Friday if you ain't went to work on Monday. There's no partying if you broke. So let's not focus on Friday. Let's focus on Monday. Because if we have an explosive Monday, we can have a phenomenal weekend. And the world started listening to my stuff. And then I went from doing it on Monday because the world was loving it. I'm walking through the airport. People like, what up? Do that thing you do. I'm like, what? The what up? I'm like, that's corny. Like, bro, I'm from the D, bro. I don't be just walking around doing that. I just do that. That's like asking JJ Dynamite every time he walking around. Like, bro, I don't do that, bro. That's corny. They was like, no, do it though. And I was like, all right, what up? I'm in the airport feeling crazy. What up? It's your boy, E.T. And the world started loving it. So guess what I do? I started doing it every day. And then I started doing it twice a day. Then I started doing 3 times a day. That's just what I'm saying. 120. Nobody told me to do that. I just started developing. How did you get so much content? I was just reading a whole bunch of books. What makes the great great? I was just reading books.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
Rule number 5 is add value.
If you ain't adding value, when it's time to start letting go, you're gonna be the first one to get cut. They cutting you first. You better pray that y'all stay in abundance. But if the abundance start getting questioned, if all you're doing is taking, you're the first one to go. You're the first one out of here. I always tell people all the time, my wife, I'm good with my wife. I'm not saying that she ain't gonna never leave me or get with somebody else, but my man gonna have to iron, clean, cook, take care of the kids, get up at 2 o'clock in the morning because she want water, buy her whatever she thinking about she won't. Bruh, if you could do, oh hell, bruh. But you're not gonna add the same value I'm gonna add. Does that make sense? In my relationship, I try to make it 50-50 or 51-49 or 49-51. Why? Because I know if I'm taking from you, then you not, and I don't even be trying to impress the dudes. I be trying to impress their wife. I'm like, when you gonna bring your wife? I need your wife to see what we doing here. Because if your wife see it and she feeling it, then she gonna give you the cosign. But if you talk about E.T. said, she like, who E.T.? Why you keep talking about E.T.? E.T. don't live up off of here. I'm tired of hearing E.T. name. But if E.T. take your life to the next level and you start treating your wife better because of me, she like, oh yeah, where's E.T. next event? Does that make sense? Immediate gratification, that base childhood boy stuff. Listen to me. The stuff you was dealing with when you was 18, 19, 20, like that sexual stuff, you grown now. You 40 years old. Get some control now. You're a grown man. You ain't no kid no more. You can't be tossed and driven. You got kids now. You got kids, bruh. You still sleeping around, you got kids. You still not getting up and going to work, you got kids now. You got people looking up to you. If you wanted to play when you were single, cool. But now you done brought somebody into this world. And as a pastor, I hate when people all of a sudden now, they want to get a divorce. Y'all got kids now. You should have got a divorce before y'all had kids. Why you gonna bring somebody into this complicated mess? They don't deserve this. They didn't ask for this. You a grown man now. Don't sit here and tell me that the baby mama drama, the mama be tripping. I don't care if she tripping or not. That's your son. Go make it work. That's your daughter. Go make it work. Do whatever you got to do with homegirl. Say whatever you got to say. Give her whatever she got to give. But don't let no other man raise your doggone kids. Don't let no other man raise your doggone kids. And I'm telling you, I was blessed that my mom got married and my father raised me. But I made a decision when I had my own child that ain't nobody else gonna raise. My biological father lost the right to call me by my last name that I am. I have somebody else's name because he didn't step up. So when I write my books, it don't have my name, and people who are part of my family, they might not even know that I was their kid. Why? Because somebody didn't step up. I don't care what my wife going through. I don't care what she's expecting. They're my kids. I'm going to raise my kids. And I'm not going to raise them like she want me to raise them. I'm going to raise them to be a man. And I'm going to raise my daughter to know how to deal with men. You ain't no boy no more. This ain't no base. This ain't no, I want to go party. You've given up that right when you had kids. Hey, party's over with out of time. Got time to be partying no more. Now it's time to create a legacy now. You had your fun. Now get to work. Now build a legacy. My son graduated, I can't say no names. My son wanted to work for a sports agent. He was all geek ant. I'm gonna work for them, I'm gonna get the chain. I said, the chain? The chain? The chain? You don't wear nobody else's chain. You don't wear nobody else's name. They eating off of that. Your family ain't gonna eat off that. You gonna get a check. We building money for generations to come. You don't work for nobody else. I didn't put you in school to go give your best talent to some other man. I put you to work for this legacy. You work for your family. You don't got no options. You don't work nowhere else. You don't work for nobody else. You work for your mama. You work for your sister. You work for your aunts. You work for your grandma. You work for your family. You work for your kid. You ain't making no other man rich. Some of you still on that boy stuff. You talking to some people you shouldn't be talking to. You grown now. It's over. When I was a child, when I was 18 years old, I act like that. When I was 21, I act like that. I'm 49 now. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. I understood as a child. I behaved like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Cut her off. So what? She gonna get attitude. Cut her off. So what? Bump your boss. Cut your boss off. Your wife needs you. Bump your boss. Your boss don't run you. Your boss don't care about your wife and your kids. You care about your wife and kids. Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more. You don't need their approval. You're talented enough. God made you. You got everything you need. You don't need no other man to sponsor you. That's probably what's killing you. You are actually on economic welfare. You on employment welfare. You on WIC. You just grown WIC. You on grown WIC. Somebody asked me the other day, what's WIC? Women, infant, and children. I used to be on it with my girl. I'm like, get that juice. You know what I'm saying? When we had got WIC, I was like getting different kind of juice. Like, get that juice right there. That's the good juice. Get the good cheese. My wife graduated, got her degree. Passed the NCLEX the first time, went and got a job, and she took the WIC check back. I was like, what are you doing? Wait for him to call us. This free money. She said, this ain't our money no more. We on our feet now. This somebody else's money. You a grown man on employment WIC. You are living off of somebody else's check when you shouldn't be living off their check, but you're so afraid to fly on your own. Stop being a boy and step into manhood. It's higher up here, but the rewards are better. Oh, come on, y'all. It's higher up here, but the rewards are better.
Rule number 6 is command your life well.
We all have 24 hours, all right? What makes some of us average, makes some of us good, some are great, is not the family you was born into, right? It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with your socioeconomic status. It has everything to do with how you command your life. So if you have a bad day, which is no such thing of, it doesn't exist, you had a bad moment and you were so immature that you let that moment dictate the rest of your day, right? And y'all not kids no more. I don't do elementary school. All right, I don't do elementary school because they really, a fifth grader, if I'm talking to a third grader, fourth grader, fifth grader, kindergartner, I don't care what I tell them, They're not at a place of maturity where they can switch their mindset. They're kids, you grown. And some of you are grown, but you're still a child. And you brag about how you're an adult. You're only an adult because of your age. You're not an adult because you command your life. You're an adult because of your age. And that's not what makes adulthood. You're not an adult because you are 18 years old, you're 25, 26. If you still kept catching temper tantrums, you still getting attitudes, that means you're not an adult in that area. That means that particular area controls you, right? You almost got into a car accident over with. Car accident been over with 10 hours ago, you still pissed about it. Or you done got into it with your friend. That happened 2 days ago and y'all still not talking. That's immaturity, right? And let me tell you something. You don't know how many days you have. Like, I'm just gonna keep it 100. You don't know how many days you have left. You don't wanna be wasting days. Like you're not God. Like you don't create. You can't wake yourself up. You don't know how many days you have left. You can't be playing with the days you have on foolishness. So you have to learn how to control yourself, right? And so y'all know my circumstances. I'm not here because I'm sweet. I'm here because one day I was like, yo, E, you need to get a control of this, bro. You need to get control of your life. You do not have control. You watching doggone TV playing video games when you should be out here grinding. So there are people all the day, people are ET. Bro, you do not want to be me. You're not ready for this grind, bro. You're too immature. You're not ready. I'm talking about I was flying from, I flew from Detroit to Milwaukee, Milwaukee to Atlanta, Atlanta to San Diego back to Milwaukee. Like the grind was real, right? Matter of fact, when I was in Milwaukee, it was funny because I've been on the road so much this last week. Matter of fact, when I was in Milwaukee, I did 5 gigs in one day. I did 5 speaking engagements in one day. So when I got to Milwaukee, my man was like, yo, you look tired. I was like, oh, okay, let's go. Now my man was like, bro, you look tired. I was like, okay, I'm about to show you then. Because what he was saying was he was looking at my body and he saw the different time zones. He saw the fatigue on my body. Like he could physically see it. He was like, yo, you tired. And I told my body like, bro, this 20 grand, bro. You ain't tired. Push through it. And I had to do 3 gigs in Milwaukee. 3 gigs in Milwaukee. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? So what I'm saying to you is you gotta be mature. And some of you are immature. Somebody just texted me a minute ago. It's like, yo, E, I always wanted to be the first one in my family to go to college. You know, I wanted to be whatever, you know. And so he was like, but I'm failing the class, you know, and I'm not doing as well as I thought I was gonna do. What do you think I should do? I said, what? Get help. What kind of question is that? So what, you shocked? Like you thought college was the Mickey Mouse Club? You thought it was high school? You thought it was middle school? It's real. So what do you mean that you should think by going to the next level, it's gonna be more of a challenge because it's another level, but go get help, right? What you texting me for? What you want me to tutor you? I'm saying I'm clueless on why I got the text. You got Learning Resource Center, you got professors, right? So do me a favor, write this down right now. Give me 2 areas of your life that you like, yo, I'm just flat out, I'm out of control. Because I have no control in that area, no control. Where was I? Oh, it's so funny, I was talking to my next door neighbor. He was like, how you doing, E? I was like, I'm good, but I was in Wisconsin Saturday. He was like, oh, you should have took the Michigan State football offense they should have came too. Like, you was in Wisconsin, but don't look like the offense was in Wisconsin. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what happened. What was it, 30-something to 0? I'm like, come on, y'all, like for real, you gotta show up. You gotta show up. And some of you can show up when you're at home, when you go on the road, you struggle, meaning that when things are going the way you want, you cool, but when it rains, you gotta grow up. Your body does not control you. You're supposed to control what? I'm just being real talk. I heard somebody tell me they're not a morning person. What kind of foolishness is that? You're not a what? What does that mean exactly? You're not a morning person. What, you a child? What does that mean you're not a morning person? If I got to get up early in the morning to get the money, I'm a morning person.
Rule number 7 is get the right mindset.
Mindset. This is the one. Mindset is everything. It all starts with how you think. Do you know there was a time that I could never be a multimillionaire, and I couldn't be a multimillionaire because I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. And everybody in Detroit told me, they said to me, Eric, if you're gonna be accepted, if you're gonna be affirmed, you finish high school and you get a job with Ford, GM, or Chrysler. That was it. I'm telling you, you from Detroit, you come home and say, Ma, I got a job. Where? Chrysler. Where? The plant. Mwah, give me a kiss, son. I love you. I started working with the Bob Proctors of the world. I'll never forget. I was with Bob Proctor in San Diego. I was speaking, and Bob pulled me to the side. He's like, E, how much you charge? I was like, whoa, I don't even know you like that. So like, it's our first time meeting. You got to get real into me. Like, you don't know how much I'm making. He was like, well, you know, like per engagement. I was like, I don't know, like 5, 10. He's like, 5, 10 grand? I was like, yeah. He was like, you should be charging at least 20,000. I was like, 20,000? He was like, yeah, he's at 20,000. I was like, okay. Went home, called my agent, 20,000. My agent was also from Detroit and was a part of a working class where you get hourly wages. And we've never seen $20,000 at one time. And so when she would say 20, they wouldn't give it to her because she didn't say it.
With belief.
How much does he charge? I'm telling my age, right? But y'all remember Happy Days with the Fonz? When the Fonz had to say he was sorry, they was like, we understand Fonz, you don't have to say it. So she would say 20. They'd say 12. 12 it is, bingo, 12. I'm like, what did they say? They said 12. I said, oh, okay. I remember, a couple times I got 20. I was like, where 20? So I saw Bob Proctor again. He's like, how much you charging? I said, 20. He said, you only charging $20,000? I said, you told me $20,000. He said, no, I didn't. I told you at least 20,000. But when I say 75 to 100, now I promise you, I say it like it's a steal. No, listen to what I'm telling you. My agent, when I saw somebody the other day, I said, look, I'm gonna charge you 75, and the work that you want me to do afterwards, I'm gonna need equity, because I'm about to turn your whole company around. Listen to what I'm telling you. And you better hurry up and sign the contract in the next 30 days, because if you don't, it's going up. Why? Because I know what I'm capable of. Watch this. I went from a worker's mindset to a thinker's mindset to a planning mindset. Oh, you missed what I just said. I don't go hourly no more. I understand when I finish doing what I'm doing, your people are gonna work in a way that they've never worked before, and it's gonna come back millions fold to you. And then I also know I'm bringing the anointing when I come, and when that anointing get on some of your people, they gonna leave here and their whole life gonna be changed. I know that's worth 75,000. It's the mindset. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. There are those of you in this room, you don't need another course. And I'm not telling you not to take one. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself. And it comes out when you're talking to other people. They sense that you don't believe it.
Rule number 8 is give your best every day.
My publisher hit me the other day. E, we got to go hard. I said, for what? He said, we got to hit the New York Times again. I said, for what? We hit it. We don't need to hit it again. I'm good. It's okay. I'm telling you, win it once to see what it feel like. And if you don't want to do it again, you will be amongst the champions. But this year, make this the year where you go, I'm going 120. I'm going to give up drugs. I'm going to give up whatever that is. I'm going to give up whatever distractions are going on. I'm going to give all that up. I'm going to give up being by myself. I'm gonna give up being standoffish. I'm gonna give up being withdrawn. I'm gonna give up with not being a teammate. I'm gonna give up being selfish. I'm gonna give up everything. Because guess what? If you give it up and you win a championship, you can go back to being selfish. Selfish gonna be there. Drugs gonna be there. Whatever vices you own, they gonna be there. They're not going nowhere because I'm number one. There's still vices. I just don't have time for them. Why? Because I just want to stay here for a little longer. Does that make sense? What do you want and what are you willing to do for it? How many of y'all are willing to say, yep, coach, I'm gonna find a way to go 120 every game? Let me just see, whatever that means. Let me see your hand, let me see a commitment. Whatever your best is, I don't know. Just 120 just means you're willing to give your best every game. Let me just see your hand. You're willing to give your best on both sides of the field. You just willing to give your best. How many of you are off the court? It's gonna be a little tough, but this is the year that I'm gonna try to give 120 off the court? Let me see your hand, be honest. Good, all right, does this make sense? This is where a lot of people go wrong. They might be sweet when they play, but when they're off the court, they just dumb stuff that spills over into I ain't gotta say no names. We know people in football, basketball, whatever, that they do stuff off the court that spills over and bleeds on the court and messes them up. Does that make sense? We not none of that. Y'all made it, y'all. You know how many people wish they could have this lifestyle, wish they could be in the game? And you got it, so you gotta take advantage of it, full advantage. Right, everybody wanna be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody wanna be a beast. So this year, I wanna make your hustle louder than your mouth. Everybody wanna be a beast. Come on, talk back. And I want y'all to keep doing this when I'm gone. I want y'all to come together and keep having this conversation, because this is what's gonna make y'all number one. And then calling people out who not doing it, right? You talk about sacrifices, they have to be made. Sacrifices have to be made. Talk about being ruthless, you gotta be ruthless. Talk about consistent. I don't think I'm the best in the world. Here's what I realized. When I looked at Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, I realized Bob Proctor, they was all selling tapes, cassette tapes. They would do this thing where they'd have like a minute on TV, and then they go, buy this tape. And then you buy the tape, and it'd come 3-4 weeks later. So I just started doing free videos every day. I figured if it take Tony Robbins' video 4 weeks to get to you, you might fall in love with me watching me for. You know what I'm saying? You in the middle of the divorce. You can't wait 4 weeks. You in the middle of divorce. You just flunked out of law school. You ain't got 4 weeks to wait on no cassette tape. So I just started doing free videos, and people just start fooling with me. Who is that loud guy? He too loud. Oh, I am. But when you're going through cancer, you like, I might need to get that energy. And I just kept doing it. 2006, the first time I dropped one is 2022. I was doing them on Monday, then I started doing it every day. Now I do 3 a day. I don't know if I'm the best. I'm just the most consistent. You can't cut your computer on. You can't cut your computer on without seeing my loud mouth. You can't do it. You can't turn on a commercial without hearing me on the commercial. My grandma said, baby, I said, yes, grandma. Is that you on the Wingstop commercial? I said, yes, grandma, that's me. You get discounts? Yes, grandma, I get discounts. Can you give me some of that chicken? I was like, absolutely, I can get you some of that chicken. Consistency. Sometimes you beat people not because you're better, you just wear them out. You just wear them down. This is gonna be the year where some team, you just gonna wear them out. I told you I'm a Piston fan. I'm from Detroit. Barry Sanders would be like negative 10 yards starting the fourth quarter, then he end the whole game with 150 yards. Bruh, you was at negative 10 in fourth quarter, the beginning. How you get 150? Barry said, these linemen, bro, they big. They gonna get tired, and I'm not. By the fourth quarter, their leg is gonna wear out, and I'm gonna kill them. Y'all gonna have to wear some people out this year. I'm just being real, you got to wear them down. You have to be strong. Who's committed to that? Who's committed to playing the last second? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Who's committed to go all the way to the fourth quarter, to the bit? You're not even looking at the clock. You just gonna wait for, and then you're like, all right, let me chill. Who's committed to that? Who's committed to that? That's what it's gonna take, y'all. Everybody wanna be a beast. Everybody with a lion thing. Everybody a lion. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I mean, it just needs to be like some giraffe and some tattoos. Gazelle tattoos. Everybody got a lion tattoo on. It's not fair. All right, do you want the results that come with talking or the results that come with execution? And I realize that in this country, people treat you different when you execute. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. You start winning championships, people treat you differently. I don't know where I was. I don't want to get it wrong. Oh, it was the Bears. So I was doing something for the Bears last week, and I got off the elevator. They saw me in the lobby, and they was like, E.T., we bought the team. I just happened to be in the same hotel. We about to be, can you come through and talk to the team? I was like, absolutely, right? So they was like, look, in an hour, we're gonna be on floor 3. I was like, I got you, right? So I came in floor 3, I came out, and the security was like, sir, who are you? They was on me. Somebody was like, E.T. I was like, E.T. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, you good. So I'm at the game. Man, I apologize. I ain't know who you was. I was like, bro, I ain't nobody. But once he found out who I was, he treated me different. Not because I'm Eric Thomas, because I executed. People treat you differently when you execute. People have a different level of respect for you when you come out and they know you got the check marks on execution. Y'all got to get to a place where you make people, like, okay, so old school. But Mike Tyson beat people before he beat people. I'm telling y'all got to get to the place, bro, where you execute, where you get it done, and when you come out, they just scared because you out. When Mike Tyson came out, he didn't have to fight 80% of his fight. He just came out, and because people knew he could execute, boom, 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 boom. They was like, oh, okay, he might execute on me tonight. I saw a couple fights, I'm not lying, go back and watch Tyson. I saw a couple fights, he hit my man one, and my man was like, as soon as he hit me, I'm down. And I'm not getting back up. I'm not gonna take no more punishment. Like, I'm not doing it. Go back and watch the fight. I'm telling you, big dude just bye. He hit him one. He wasn't even like, He was just like, jab, and they bye, out. 1, 2, stop counting, bro. I'm gonna be down here for the whole time. I'm telling y'all, if you get not this, when you get results, when you execute, man, it's a difference.
Rule number 9 is find your drive.
My whole job is to take people from where they are, take their marriage, their key, everything to the next level. I think about you. That's why we put out free content. I'm thinking about you. And when I take care of you, you're going to take care of me. Driven by needs, necessities. We're not driven by toys. It don't mean we don't get some from time to time, but we're not driven by them. What we're driven by is, I'm the next Martin Luther King. I am the 2020 Martin Luther King. It is my job to go in these schools. My job is to travel the world and help people stop being average, good, or great and become phenomenal. That's my job. I take total responsibility for that. Does that make sense? What new toy? Don't worry about the toys. Worry about the humans that you're gonna bless. And when you bless those humans, they'll give you toys. No, I just left Atlanta and told those grown men what I was gonna do for the city, and they like, we're gonna write a check for you. Because they saw the work that I was doing. I don't even gotta write the check. I'm gonna take care of the need, and they're gonna take care of me so I can take care of the need. Does that make sense? You worried about the money, take care of the need, and the money will follow you. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you was gonna get excited. Okay, whatever. You still wanna be in poverty. All right, here go my last two, and you're gonna take a break. We wanna get to the highest level. I got the GED, that wasn't enough. I got the 4-year degree, I was still hungry. I got the master's degree, I was still hungry. I got the PhD, I was still hungry. C made us a #1 country in the world, still hungry. He went and got with Josh, solar company. He went and got with Maul, the real estate. We're still hungry, y'all. Then I went and got the disc and started studying the disc like it was the PhD. Just hungry, 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 hungry. Some of y'all, you get satisfied by the least thing. At some point, you should get to a point that a big button, a smile don't move you like it did when you was 20. I feel you. You was 20. I feel you. I feel you 100%. You was 20. He was 20. He was like, you probably had it was like all your energy. But as you get older, the energy should start. And your goal should be the best human when you die that you could be. So your sons and daughters, when they bury you, should say, that's what I want to be like that. I'm going to take this legacy to the next level. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So the Nobel Prize is where my highest level that I know now. Once I get that, it might be something else. What's your highest level? It can't be a car. They sell those. It can't be a house. They sell those. It's got to be something that's intrinsic and not extrinsic. You need to find it.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is ignite your power.
This is gonna seem weird, but I promise y'all I know what I'm doing. It's gonna seem weird, but I know what I'm doing, okay? I'm old, I know what I'm doing, all right? So put your age in there. Now what I want you to put down is how old you wanna be when you leave this earth. Now I don't care what religion, what politics, one thing we all know, we ain't gonna be here forever. There's one thing I can guarantee y'all, you won't be living like, you won't be here 150 years from now. I can guarantee you that. You won't be 150, you won't be here. So the real question is, how old are you? And then how long you want to be on this earth, right? Because here's why this is why this is important. Because if you know you're not gonna be here forever, then you're gonna treat how long you're gonna be here differently. So what happens sometimes when you're young, you think you're gonna be young forever. I feel you, I used to be there. I woke up this morning, I was 51 years old. I was like, man, I'm 51. My grandma, I went to go see my grandma, she's 91. I was like, man, I remember my grandma was in her 40s. I'm gonna grab my 91. Now listen to me very closely. I'm not the don't say no to drugs dude, right? You make whatever decisions you want. You do whatever you want to do. I'm here to tell you though that you're not gonna live forever. And so you have to decide then, if you're not gonna be here forever, what are your 20s gonna look like? What are your 30s gonna look like? What are your 40s gonna look like? Now I'm from Chicago originally, grew up in Detroit. 90% of my boys are not living the way I'm living. They ain't no different than me. As a matter of fact, Bob should doggone be speaking to y'all right now, not me. Bob was the one that got me off the streets of Detroit. I was homeless. Like for real, for real. I love rappers because rappers be in the studio doing that stuff. I love it. Like making up stuff. I was homeless, like in abandoned buildings homeless. Eating out of trash cans homeless. Bob took me off the streets, brought me to church. I gave my life to Christ. That pastor helped me to get my GED. Then they sent me to college. Took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree because I played in school. I was in college, couldn't hardly read or write. But Bob should be here right now. But Bob is not here because me and Bob at 20, we started making different decisions. So here's what I want to tell you. I don't care what you say you want to be, what you want to do. And here's the crazy part about y'all age. Man, I'm so proud of y'all. Like y'all the 1%ers. But the crazy part about it is just because you got here don't mean your 30's going to look like this. And your 40's gonna look like this. And your 50. I mean, I wish if you played in the NFL, I wish that whatever your best day was, your best year was, you could just like capture that and that'd be the rest of your life. But unfortunately, a lot of dudes made a lot of money who broke. Now I'm gonna just say MC Hammer, because that's my dude. $30 million wasted in. How you lose 30 mil in 1 year? Easy. You got the same mentality, like you hanging out with your homies and you trying to do right by your homies, but your homies eating up stuff, doing stuff, and now you broke, and now you can't. Here's the crazy part about it. Most of the people who lost 30 million in 1 year, you don't get another year to make another 30 mil. Like, bro, wouldn't it be sweet if you had 30 and you wasted it, and then you get a second shot and you get another 30? But for most people, that won't happen. So I'm not here to tell you anything but this. What do you want your life to look like? And many of you probably never even thought about it, but the cool thing about it, you got a phenomenal start, right? So I'm gonna walk through these slides real quick. I'm geeked, right? I'm geeked, why? Because I speak for a living. I'm geeked, y'all, I speak for a living. So what does that mean? This don't get old. I got something that I could, if I die at 70, I can continue to do this. At 80, I can continue to do this. The problem with football, you can't do this at 50. You can't play this game at 50. I don't care how sweet you are. The best of the best, I felt like, the best of the best was MJ. And MJ had to retire. And as a matter of fact, when MJ was with the Wizards, he didn't look like the bull MJ. He was just doing that because he was trying to own a team so he could make some money in basketball. So I'm telling you, this ain't forever. And when you're doing something that don't last forever, you got to treat it differently. This don't last for 20. This don't last for 30. This might not even last for 10 for some of you. So you got to take full advantage of every single Sunday. And you only get 16. Oh, I'm sorry, they added one. I apologize. I'm old school, like Billy Sims, old school. We're 16. So write down right now for me real quick. And maybe you're not going to answer this right now, but what do I want to be doing in my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, my 60s? And what you do today, every day when you walk in this joint, what you do today is going to determine how you live at 30, at 40, at 50, at 60. And y'all got a head start, man. Whew. My mom had to work at Ford. She got pregnant with me at 17 years old. Mom had to work at Ford for 30 years. And she probably ain't make what some of y'all going to make in 2 or 3 years in 30 years. So I'm proud of you. Whatever you had to do in high school, whatever you had to do in college, you did what you had to do and you got to this level. All I'm asking you is set the standard. Set the standard, right? Set the standard. Listen to me. You a grown man. I would dare tell you to set the standard, but set one though. Set a standard. Jamal, we just left from Dubai. They set, man, if you haven't been there, go. They set the standard, y'all. Like any place, let me tell you what I hate about Dubai. This is my second chance going. What I hate about Dubai is coming back to America. You go to Dubai and you come to the Four Seasons garbage. The Four Seasons look like a doggone Holiday Inn Express. They got the 6 tallest buildings there. Everything they do, like they pick you up in the 740. The taxi cab driver is picking you up in the 745 Li. That's like over there, like the Lamborghini. My boy was like, he from Detroit. My boy was like, I want to drive in a Lamborghini. My boy that brought me was like, What do you mean by that? He's like, I want to rent one. He said, you ain't got to rent one. I got one outside. He said, but then I want the Ferrari one. He said, well, my wife got that one. I'll go pick that one up and bring it back for you so you can drive that one around. My boy from the D, like he driving around in Lamborghini, he can't believe it. He on the island. The Standard over there, everything is big. The Louis over there, I will eat up all of it. It's unbelievable. One dude went over there and built the tallest building, and then now that was the Standard. What's your standard? I don't care what it is. But what is your standard? I got some standards. I've been waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and praying to God since I was 19 years old. That's a non-negotiable. Every morning at 3, I'm up. I'm the best in the world as a speaker, not because I'm the best, but I'm the best because every day I put God first. That's my standard. I don't care if I'm in Dubai, 3 o'clock. I don't care if I'm in Cali, 3 o'clock. I don't care if I'm down south, 3 o'clock. That's my standard. I've been married 31 years. I've only had sex with one woman my entire life. That's my standard. I'm not telling nobody else to do that, but my old dude wasn't in my life because he was running around having sex with everybody. I got siblings I don't even know. I just met my niece for the first time. She's 24 years old. So I'm like, I'm not doing what my dad did. My dad a high school dropout. I went and got my GED, then I got my 4-year degree, then I got my master's degree, then I got my PhD. And I ain't smart, but I set a standard so when my kids came in this world, they mama got a master's, they daddy got a PhD, they at least got to finish high school. I set a standard. Multi-millionaire as a speaker from the bottom up. I set a standard. I'm telling you, set a standard. Set a standard. You can't be no champion if you don't have a standard. And let me tell you something. The men who set a standard are always the ones who are champions. Set a standard, bro. I ain't never smoked a day in my life. All my boys smoke weed. That's my boys. I love them to life. I ain't tripping that they smoke. I just set a standard. My daddy was strung out on crack for 14 years. My uncles died of cirrhosis of the liver. I'm good on alcohol. I'm good on drugs. Why? It don't look like my family know how to handle it. I ain't mad at my boy Bob. He seemed like he know how to do it and get up and go to work. He went to school. He's smoking weed on his way to school. Still doing good on tests. But I had to set a personal standard that we're not doing that. Somebody hit me the other day, E, what you think about weed? Oh, why you asking what I think about E, what you think about? I said, listen to me, bro, I got a standard. He said, E, what's wrong? I love it, young boy. He about 21. E, what's wrong with? E, what's wrong with? E, what's wrong with? I said, bruh, I'm trying to be the next Martin Luther King. When you get to this level, you don't ask what's wrong with. You ask what's right with. I'm a champion. We as a champion, we ain't trying to cut corners. We ain't trying to see how much we can do and still be successful. I got a standard. I want to be the best. And I love Steph Curry. Steph said, making shots in workouts is no longer good enough. Put this down. Finish. Write that down. Type that to yourself. Execute. Put that down. Finish. Execute. Let me tell you something. They treat people differently who execute. Nobody care what you're doing in practice. They don't got nothing to do with nothing. That don't count. Now, it don't count what you're doing in practice. It don't count. It don't count what you do first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. The most important quarter is the one you like where you won. Write that down. Finish. Effort is not good enough. Ain't nobody paying you for effort. You don't get paid for effort. You don't get paid for trying. Me and my wife went to Dubai because I execute for free. I put up videos every single day. Ain't nobody paying me for the stuff I put up since 2006. I just put it up so when you wake up, you got something. And then in the afternoon, I give you something. And then when you drive it home, I give you something because you got to go back to your family. I want you to be pumped up when you go to your family. And guess what happened? You reap what you sow. We on our way to Dubai. My man said, E, we all was in Emirates, but you saw they had, more was like a cap. I didn't know what it was. It was like a capsule me and my wife was in. They paid $30,000 for us airplane seats. I was scared. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to go over here. My man paid 30 grand for the seats. I mean, he might be looking for me to come, but I don't know what he looking for me to come over here and do. Got to the hotel executive. I told my wife said, listen to me. My wife said to me, do me a huge favor. She said, this man has spent almost $150,000 for you to come over here. I want to come back. When you get up there and speak, it better be the best speech you ever done in your life. Execute. My wife was like, execute. Like, I want to come back to Dubai. Whatever you said to make that man bring you over here, you say that and 3 times better. I want to come back. But this time I come back, I want my kids to come with me. I said, well, you going to put them in first class? She said, nope, they're going to be behind us. I said, well, that's 60 grand. She said, go speak like it. So do me a favor, set the standard. Steph Curry was one of the best. His standard is making shots in workouts is no longer enough. Watch this. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. Now, some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to give 70%? You think you're gonna give 80? I watch y'all. Y'all good, but you need to be great in this league too. You're real good at what you do, but some of you don't finish. You look good in the first. You look good in the second. But the fourth with the last 3 minutes, I could tell. With the last three. Listen to me. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. Now, I'm not suggesting that, you should be born in terrible circumstances, neither good. Some of y'all think like, yo, Ed, I promise you, I'd love like having certain friends to come on, the stage with me and talk, because there's some people who think just because of the color of your skin that you were like automatically born with bread. Like you just had money off the cuff. Your parents ain't never been alcoholics. Your mom, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you just had everything going your way. Here's what I have to explain to people. When you grow up in a very whatever circumstance, yo, bro, that's a heavy-handed deal. You got dealt. You got to play it. If you were born rich, that's a heavy hand. You got to play that hand. I had a hand to play. My kids got a hand to play. My son was like, do you know what it's like being the son of E.T. the hip-hop preacher? Dad, do you know what it's like going to Michigan State and you went to Michigan State? My daughter, Dad, do you know what it's like? People think I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm only 19 years old. So what people don't understand is I'm not making excuses, but I'm telling you, whatever hand you have, you still got to play it. It don't play itself. No hand plays itself. You got to play your hand. But here's the cool thing about the creator. He knew that we would all be in different circumstances. And so what he did was he said, I'm going to give you a gift. And your gift will make room for you. Now, y'all have to understand something. When you see me now, you go, he's speaking here. He on this podcast. I can't believe it. It is the exact same gift I had when I was 16 years old. It is the exact same gift I had at 8. I've had to develop the gift. But God didn't give me the gift when I got baptized. I didn't get the gift when I came to my senses. I had the gift from the time I was born. I didn't activate the gift from the time I was born. I didn't use the gift. So homelessness put me in a situation where it's like, yo, bro, you're going to have to figure it out. And I'll never forget, they let me speak at church and I spoke and it felt magical. I never felt like, it must be how LeBron felt when he first got a basketball in his hand. Must be how Steph Curry feel when he come out on the court in the light. It must be how Jalen Ramsey feel when, when the night lights in LA and he checking somebody one-on-one. This is how Tom Brady must feel this way. I felt the same way at 16 and I told myself, E.T., whatever you do, don't stop doing that. You find every opportunity to speak. You find every opportunity to talk to people. You find every opportunity to smile. You find every opportunity to be electric because something happens. People treat you different when you speak. People treat you different when you smile. Like, when you come in the room with that energy, boy, people respond to you different. So whatever you do, make sure you don't ever stop doing that. And whatever you do, don't stop growing it. You keep getting better and better. And I'm not saying I don't subscribe to cancel, but I think cancel is, that's a culture where, people are building you up and they have the power to, destroy you.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got it.
Interesting
perspective.
I'm not against, people can't, whatever, to cancel, not to cancel. But I've built my church. I've poured into people since 2006, 2007. These are people who I've helped get through divorce, people who I've helped not to get a divorce, people to get through cancer, help their kids go to college. People not canceling people. Mm-hmm. That's entertainment to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can get canceled if you want entertainment. Yeah. I'm not an entertainer. I'm a pastor. I'm a coach. I'm an activist. Nobody's trying to, the people who I have built up, they're not about to go, oh, he said, I'm through with him.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, that's our pastor, that's our brother, that's our friend. And I think when you're dealing with people you have a relationship with, it's different than people you don't have, people who are just, entertainment. That's different. Yeah. You don't have a bond with that person. Yeah. But if you have a family, that's what I have on the internet. I have a family. Mm-hmm. These are people that I help elevate. So even if I mess up, all they're looking for is, I messed up. I'm human. I'm not God. I'm going to make mistakes. And they're like, we're going to forgive you. So I just think that, to me, that's more entertainment. Like, I don't have a sponsor,
sure.
I don't
that you got to worry about.
I don't have a sponsor and all that. Like, I'm not, if I get kicked off of YouTube, I think there are probably more people showing my stuff on their sites than I'm probably showing on mine, if that makes sense.
100%.
They're playing my message when they working out, doing whatever. So, again, I'm not against it.
Yeah, but audiobooks,
that is for, even my books, we self-published.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
so
now I do have a publisher now, but I just think I'm in a different arena. And even with some people who I heard Snoop say something I thought was funny. Snoop was like, I wish they would try that. But you're talking about Snoop, who's been around since, late 80s, 90s, so he's built a base. I think it's for people who, again, entertainment has built them, the culture has built them. Yeah. And because the culture has built them, they feel like they have the right to tear them down. But I've been around since 2006, man, doing God's will.
Sure.
You're going to have to get in the Holy Ghost phase to cancel me. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible says, who the Lord sets free is free indeed. And even when you look at David said, I won't touch Saul, even though he's trying to take my life, because God says, touch not my anointed. So I feel like, I'm God's anointed. So
Saul didn't want him to be king.
Yeah. And David was like, hey, I could take your life, but there's a higher calling, and God said, touch not. And so I just feel like when you're anointed, even if people form weapons against you, they're not going to prosper. Let me tell you what the problem is. Because you're either a yellow or you're either a green, probably, right? So you care about others. And what you've done is that you've told them it was free. So now you're mad at them for what you told them. So now we got to reprogram. So when Cole was like, E, how you going to get the numbers? I was like, I'm going to charge $500. He's like, all right, well, that's too much on the first one. I know it's worth it, E, but you're taking them for getting free all the time. Like, you've conditioned the world for free, E. All your stuff is free. So now you tell me I got to pay $500? Like, I'm used to being free. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, well, let's hurry up and condition them. Because the stuff I'm doing now, I know is about to change their life. Like, before, I was off of spirit and, and my gift, but now this is scientific, right? You can't, the numbers don't lie. They are what they are. So what you're selling is free. But then you're hoping that at some point, they're going to know to come pay. That's not how you set it up. And the reason why I know you set it up for free, because they think it's for free. They would have never thought it was for free. So what you probably are doing is saying, you know what? I'm going to give away this, and then you're going to be mutual. And you're going to wake up one day and say, I've done all this for you. Now you're going to be fair. You're going to be fair. And you're just going to come in and write me a check. And that's not how it works in business. You give it to me for free, I'm going to keep trying to get it for free. So now what you have to do is you have to believe that the challenge is you believing that you're worth it. That's the real challenge, that you feel like what everybody else is doing, you're just as valuable in terms of your, for real. That's where we go wrong. That's why they negotiating on us, because we don't know if we feel valuable, so we letting them negotiate with us. I'm not letting people negotiate with me no more. This is what it's called. Now, here's where I will negotiate. If I know the relationship is mutual, and I know we going back and forth and we going to look out for each other, I'll do whatever you want me to do. I just had a deal with Glenn. Glenn got me a deal, and I told my man I charged 50 grand. He's like, I ain't got 50 grand. How much? I was like, let's not play games. We're in a relationship. Glenn, tell him to tell me what he has. Why are we going back and forth? Let's not mess up our relationship. Just tell me what it is, and we're homies. I know you're looking out for my best interest. We good. But when you come to me and you're willing to pay somebody 50, but you're only gonna pay me 20, then now we got a problem. Now I gotta walk away because I gotta show you, you don't have to value me, but I do have to value me. It only takes one good idea, right, to become a multimillionaire, to become a billionaire, all right? Yeah, you feel me? One idea. Here's the challenge though. Some of y'all have like 6 or 7 of them a week and you don't write them down. I'm just being real. Like, and here's what, this is what hurts me. Some of y'all, you look at the left and you look to the right to be successful when you need to look within. Like for real, you were born with a gift. You were born great, guys. And you got to start looking within, not without. Greatness is in you, activate it. But what you're activating is the norm. This isn't right, that isn't right. Somebody said to me, you know how much the gas is? And I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't. I've never gone to the pump as E.T. You know, as E.T., this version of E.T. I've never gone to the pump and looked at how much it costs. And I've never not filled up the gas tank as this version of E.T. Now, maybe when I was younger, in my 20s, still making crazy decisions and not as mature as I am now, maybe I was like, give me 10 on 5. You know, but at this version, I'm just like, it doesn't matter how much it is. I'm gonna fill it up. It doesn't matter how much the Emirates first class costs to go to Dubai. It doesn't matter. I don't want to sit in a row with 3 people because I don't want a stranger in my conversation with my wife. Like, I just want it to be me and my, so I'm gonna pay whatever they want me to pay. So it's just the 2 of us in this capsule and we could bring that joker down. And for the 14 hours, me and you could get it in without my man in the middle saying, oh, what part of San Diego do you live in? I'm like, I wasn't even talking to you. Like, how are you in my conversation? So I will pay for whatever to get off the plane and be ready to speak. Like as soon as the camera, like when I land, they got the cameras on me. So I want to sit in the seat where I'm gonna be comfortable and I can get off ET where I don't need 2 or 3 hours of preparation because I took a shower on my way there. You know what I'm saying? They gave me 30 minutes for the shower and I took give it to me an hour before we land. I want the best foods. Like I will do whatever it takes to have that reality than to be the average dude that everybody's telling me what to do. You can't go see your daughter get her award because you need to be at work. Nobody, I'm an academic advisor. Students don't even come to get academic counsel at 9:15 a.m. They're not even up. But because you control me, you could tell me, no, I can't go see my child. And I'll do whatever it takes to be there for my baby girl. I'll be there to watch my son play football or to watch my son walk across Michigan State's the bread. I want to see it. I don't want the boss to tell me you got to take time off to go watch him mark. When my daughter got her master's degree, everybody was like, you stood the whole time. You never sat down because she graduated with her 4-year degree during COVID and she didn't get to march. So now I'm like, girl, you did it. You went and did 2 more years just to get that. Like they were about to mess up our record of me walking across the breads, my son walking across. We could say my daughter graduated, but we couldn't say she marched across. She marched, and I'm gonna stand here the whole time and watch her and look into her face, and I hear anything that the speakers are saying or miss all the other kids that are coming because I want my baby girl to know if you can't count on nothing else, you can count on your daddy being present. I'm not the greatest father. I probably won't win Father of the Year. I probably won't get that. I'm a little too aggressive for that. You feel me? But you will never be able to say your daddy wasn't present. And it doesn't matter how or why do you get up at 3 o'clock? Why don't you? Why don't you get up when you need to get up to do what you need to do? So you telling me I live in a country that if I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would be rewarded for it? That I can control my own life if I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning? I can take a nap whenever I need to take a nap. I'll stay up as long as it takes to be there for my wife when she was diagnosed with MS. I'll go to every doctor's appointment with you. We'll go out to eat afterwards. We'll do ice cream. We'll make these hospital visits a date. This will be a date day. I'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. Get up early, get a PhD, write a book, put a bunch of free videos up online, learn a second language. I'll do whatever it takes to keep this freedom. I'll do whatever it takes. When people tell you that you can make this dream become a reality, and they show you the money that you're gonna make and the degree that you're gonna get, and they show you, and I know why they do it. The reason why they don't show you side B is because they know if they show you side B, most of you won't even try side A. So that's the reality of it. I get it, but it's unfair to listen to me very closely. There are those of you who are like, I want to be a millionaire. How many of you ever said in your life that I want to make 7 figures? Raise your hand. You want to be a millionaire. I've heard a couple people say billionaire. Who ever thought about, I want to be a billionaire? Listen to me very closely. Do you know the kind of hell you're going to go through to spending $16,000 that you ain't have. I would just say, one, sometimes it's so close to you that it's hard to, figure out, especially when you're comparing yourself, to other people. I would say start with the people that's in your inner circle.
Okay.
Like they would know, they're around you all the time. They would know what you do
what you're
well.
good at,
You know what I'm
feedback.
saying?
Yeah,
I'm saying they're around you all the time. They could say to you, man, I think you do this well. I think you do that well. And then I think whatever they say, like, believe it.
Yeah.
Like, so if you don't know, they're going to know. And if they know, like, literally trust them. The other thing I would say is, look at the things that you naturally love and are attracted to. Like, I remember being younger and I was attracted to, now that I look back, to Martin Luther King. Like how kids talk about, Michael Jordan. I don't know that I ever watched Michael Jordan and go, I could be like that. Like, I don't know if I watched him and was like, yo, let me go get a basketball and try to. But when I would listen to Malcolm X speak, I would like, yo, that's, ooh, like Coretta or Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
I would be like, I could do that. Like,
Yeah.
I could, like, even though I never said anything to anybody and I never even practiced it, in my heart of hearts, I was attracted to it. I was moved by it. And I think when we are attracted to things or moved by things, it is an indicator that that's probably what we could be good at. Listen to me very closely. A lot of you could be millionaires, but because you're not disciplined, he pulls on a couple. Some of you because you're not sexually disciplined, you've had people take stuff from you and you've been in places and relate. I just saw 2 young women that lost their lives that was on some dating thing and went to some man. I was just like, yo, where they do that at? Where do you just trust somebody online that you don't even know? What was it about you that you was had such a low self-esteem, and then it was twins, it was sisters, that you just gonna go to some man's house you don't even know? Come on. Then another young lady just went to jail. Her man told her he killed somebody, and she took a saw and saw. I'm like, boo, you about to go to jail? I'm like, wow, is it that love that deep these days? People buying stuff. I'm like, well, you ain't grateful for what God, you gotta get the extra hookups? I ain't mad at you, but if you do that, you understand what you attracting. And then you mad when you ain't attracting a successful man of character and integrity and God, but you're not putting that out. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Listen to me very closely. Somebody, your zero is gonna go to the next level when you can learn to say no. I was just at a function. My man was like, E, you did a phenomenal job, bruh. We doing happy hour at 3:30. I said, my plane leave at 3:50. He said, you're not gonna stay for happy hour? I said, bruh, I'm not here for no happy hour. We don't know each other like that. Happy hour? I came to speak. I didn't come to build no relationship with you. I didn't come to drink with you. Drink? Bro, I don't even drink. And if I drank, I would drink at home. I wouldn't drink in front of you and get loose like that and start talking crazy. You don't need to know me like that. You need to know me as the #1 motivational speaker in the world, flawless. I'm not, but that's what you need to know me as. You don't even need to get close enough to me to know my faults. This is a business transaction. You going doing business with people drinking like y'all, what you being social for? You don't have no discipline. Drink when you get home. You just see some free wine. You see some free alcohol. Drink when you get home. This is business. Boundaries. There are boundaries. My man like, yo, why you gotta go? Because I'm married. I got a wife. I'm going home. We finished. We ain't got no more business to do. You told me you wanted a 2-hour presentation. I did it. I'm going home. But E, this is a resort. And I'm going home. Why? Because I can't get in trouble at home. I can't get in trouble at the crib. I can get in trouble at this resort. It's a lot of temptation at this resort. So I'm going home. The blessings don't come from what you get. The blessings come from the seed you plant that's going to bring you back more. So that's why God ain't blessed you yet, because you're going to take the blessing and go get a whip with it. You so sick and you so worried about what people think about you. You still on what people think. Some of us driving cars, not because God told you to drive it, but your self-esteem is so low that you got to make people think you somewhere that you're not. That's a sickness. You have a low self-esteem. You care more about what man think than what God think. You tripping on what I think about you when God pissed at you and that don't bother you. You have more concern about what another human thinks about you. That you taking pictures with cars ain't even yours to say to them, don't you know it's only gonna take me about 40 days to find out you lied? Wealth was something for others. You know, we kind of live, you know, from check to check, you know. Wealth didn't belong to us. Like, you know, we could have money to survive, you know, and maybe somewhat strive, but not to thrive, you know. And so I was taught, hey, you live from check to check, you get a job, you rely on somebody else, you give them your best 30, 40 years, you know, you're with your kids when you can be, you know, whenever they need you there, you're there, and your priority is work, 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 work. So it was I had a working class mentality, you know, when I was growing up. I definitely didn't have a wealth mentality. I teeter-tot with poverty mentality. My mom would get mad at me, but for sure, a worker's mentality.
Explain that, your worker's
Just meaning that, you know, we're supposed to work for somebody.
Got it.
We're supposed to take our gifts and our time and our talent and use it to make somebody else's dreams become a reality, you know? We don't invest in our own dreams or our own goals, you know? We can't do things that cause us to take risk. We got to stay in the safety zone.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to do things that are uncomfortable. So a job, you know, a 9-to-5, insurance, whatever. You know, and it's so funny. It's always enough to survive, but it's never enough to thrive. You know, that was the concept. You got enough to survive, but we never had enough, you know, to put us in a position where we could go away for a month, or you could go to all your kids' events, you know? And it was just funny. It was like, I know when I was working at Michigan State, it was like, wow, my boss gets to come and go as she pleases. I don't get to go to my daughter's events when she gets an award, an academic award at school, because I have to be at work. Even though no college student is coming to my office at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
But I have to be there but my boss gets to come and go, you know, as she wants. And so, you know, I just realized she should get to come and go as she wants. Like, she should have that luxury, but I should have it as well. I shouldn't have another human telling me that I can't go and enjoy my daughter and create these memories with my child. I need y'all to do the real work so that you can come out and be transparent. But when you fake, and you faking it, and you come out, game recognize game. And people recognize you fake, even with the stuff on, they know you fake. So I need you to be real. I love Cardi B. I was praying the other day, I said, God, am I wrong? You know what I'm saying? Because her lyrics, God, they just ain't really adding up to what my values are. But I just keep finding myself going back and listening. I'm the queen of talk, and I'm backing it up. Backing it up. And I'm just like, God, I'm drawn. And something about this, I know I don't cuss, and I gotta stop when she get to this part. And the backing it up, I don't know God, but just something about. And I said, I know what it is, God. I know exactly what it is. She told us that she used to strip to make money because she was in a relationship where she was getting beat. I said, I got it now. I'm drawn to her because she keeping it 100. She ain't playing. She was like, I didn't want to strip, but I was getting beat down in a relationship. I couldn't find no way out. And so stripping got me money, and money gave me power, and the power, I had control. And so I was able to leave. And I'm like, that's why she blowing up, because she keeping it 100, and everybody's drawn to her because she's so transparent. You entertainment seeking. E, did you see Power? Absolutely not. Did you see the Game of Thrones? Absolutely not. I'm trying to blow up. I'm trying to blow up after the blow up. I'm number one. Now I'm trying to find out what's after number one. And you know what that is? That's not a speaker. That's a businessman. So I'm trying to own as many companies as I can, get as much equity as I possibly can. I don't got time for the Game of Thrones. I'm playing my own games. I'm trying to sit on a throne. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a throne. I'm just saying, for real, some of you broke and you still entertained. Like, I'm not even tripping on those of you who got money and you comfortable and you want to chill and watch it. I'm talking about those of you who are complaining about your job. You ain't got no money and you sitting here complaining about, but then you watching all the TV programs. That's a have-not mentality. The rich person made Game of Thrones. They don't even watch it like you watch it. They can't even enjoy it. They put that joker together. They watching it like, that didn't come right. Oh, Lord, she didn't say it right. They were off. Oh, man, okay, next episode. You sitting there in a house that you can't even afford. You in your mama basement watching Game of Thrones. You just comfortable. I just need to come out right now. See, give me a device on the next one. We could just start hitting folks in the face, just blah. I need to bring you to your senses. You in your mama basement watching TV. All right. Pleasure before payment. For real, you like to get, you do things that you can't afford. For real, you do stuff you can't afford. And then you don't understand that this society is built rich off of people who like pleasure before payment. They making money off of you because you buy a car you can't afford and they charge you 5-6 times more for it. They give you a house that you can't afford and you thought it was $300,000, but come to find out when you finish paying for it 15, 30 years later, that house wasn't $100,000. Now it's about $700,000. You didn't pay the extra $500,000 for a house. That's not worth it. But they caught you because you was broke. Just find somewhere to serve and serve. Or if you can't find nowhere to serve, sit your butt down and observe. Sit down and observe. Observe where you can serve. Right? So don't do all that talking. Don't be running your mouth. Just sit down somewhere. They know you there. They invited you. So sit down and go, okay, where can I serve? So I was like, all right, Tony, I got you. And I knew what he said. Can I be real? It stung a little bit. It did. It stung a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I was encouraged because I knew what to do the next time. And so the next time I was with the big boys, I act like I belong there.
How do you trick yourself into believing you're valuable? Come on, somebody. I said, what? I said, how'd you trick yourself into believing in poverty? I'm talking about if you're going to get tricked. Hey, man, I'm just being real. If you're going to get tricked to believe what God said about you. Get tricked to believe that you are a royal priesthood, the chosen generation. Like, get tricked to believe from the head of your soul to the crown of your head to the soles of your feet that you're going to be blessed. If you're going to get tricked into the 7,000, almost 500 promises that God has made. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so I want you to do me a huge favor. Like, I really want you to think about, okay, let me read all of them over the next 30, 40 days, and let me see which ones God has done, and let me see which ones God is getting ready to do, and let me claim the one. There's 7,000, almost 500. You get to make the pick. God already promised. God already said He's going to give them. Now you just got to claim what's yours. All right. So I just want to encourage you. So trick yourself. Why? Because as I told the young man, can I be honest with you? Anything you see other people doing, humans that are enjoying their families, humans that are enjoying their marriage, humans that are enjoying their careers, humans that are walking in their purpose and their gift, humans that are making money and traveling the world. Like some kind of way they trick themselves into believing that they deserve that. So you need to trick yourself into believing since they doing it and they human that you could do it too. Come on. I'm talking to somebody today. Come on. 7,000, almost 500 promises to mankind. And you're not going to take advantage of that. You're not going to cash in on that. So do me a favor, stop the whining and the crying. Stop talking about what you don't have. And I want you to go to those almost 7,500 and just start cherry picking. I want this one. I want, you get a promise and you get a promise and you get a promise and you get God's promise and you get what God has for you and you get what's coming to you and you believe what the Lord says and you by faith receive. Are you hearing me? In the name of Jesus. And I want y'all to catch that because as I get into God's word today that He has for us, make sure you listen to that. God has almost 7,500 promises that He's made to His children, and He don't need you to make them for Him. Come on, somebody.
I've been to third world countries where it does not matter how early you wake up. It does not matter how long you stay up. It doesn't matter what your skill sets are. It doesn't matter. You don't have opportunity. You have people all over the world who are dying to get here, literally dying to get here. You have an opportunity of a lifetime, and where much is given, much is required. So if you have an opportunity to be wealthy, to build phenomenal relationships, to start a business. Like you can just, you got LLC, nonprofit, you know what I'm saying? S Corp, like you got opportunities. You got banks that you can get loans from. You can go online and sell stuff from online. Like you don't even have to have a store anymore. A storefront, like you can literally become rich from your watch. So it's like, yo, instead of you looking at everything that's not, look at what is. So absolutely, is there some stuff to complain about? 1000%. There's a whole bunch of stuff I can complain about. So a lot of stuff that I can be angry about. But man, my grandmother died at 93 and a month later, my other grandmother died at 90. I didn't realize how quick life was. I'm like, yo, my grandmother was 93. I spent 51 years with both of them. They're gone. It's over. I will never be able to talk to my grandmother again. And I'm next. So because life is short, I don't have time to focus on what's not. I've got to focus on what is, then get up and go get it. And for me, it's like, guys, some of you in this room have opportunities that I don't have. Some of you in this room have connections or network I don't have. And I'm killing the game and you're not. So I need you to understand where you are. America's not perfect. I don't know if there's a place on planet Earth that is. So we're not looking for perfect, but we are looking for opportunity and we have it. So it's like, yo, say it because I need you to understand what you have. And then I need you to appreciate what you have. And then I need you to go after everything that's got your name on it with no excuses because when I pulled up and I saw, the skyline, I was like, yo, do you know there were people 400 years ago, 300 years ago who were in the process of building this and it was a vision and they never got to experience it? Like, yo, do you know what type of mindset you have to build something that you know that you're not going to get to enjoy, but yet you put energy into it because you're thinking about the next generation. You've got this vision that's going to outlast you. Like that's rare. And so now it's been built. Go fly first class. It's been built. Go live on people ask me, why do you live on the East Coast and then you live on the West Coast? Because it's two coasts. That's why. And if I can get a house in the Gold Coast, I'm going there. So it's like, yo, we have opportunity. Whatever you do, don't waste it. Don't cry about it. Get up and go make it happen. We live in a society where some among us are prejudiced, right? So there are people who would not traditionally hire Eric Thomas. But you will get to a point where nobody else can do what I do. And your company, the value of your company is greater than your racism. Hear what I'm telling you. So you may be racist and not want to hire an African-American male that looks like me, but because I'm the best version of myself in terms of what I do online, I can compete with anybody else who's doing it. The PhD, right? I need you to hear what he's saying. The PhD was very intentional and deliberate, living a life of character. These are all things that's going to help me out. And then my relationship with God, you through now. There's nothing you can do. You stuck now. You stuck. So it's like you call everybody else. You might even brought them in and it didn't change anything. So now you're like, all right, last resort, I got to bring ET in. And then I come in with the anointing and rip shop. And then you like, can we get the retainer? I'm like, you could have started with me, right? So I'm telling you what he's telling me is the truth. I'm not saying, I can't believe there's still racist people in 2019. That has nothing to do with me. That's not my fight. My fight is being the best version of Eric Thomas. That's what I can control. I can't control industries. I can't control what people think or say, but what I can control is Eric Thomas. And so I'm telling you what he's saying is real. Because you're like, but I gotta. No, you don't. You don't. You're still in your mind when he was saying it. It was like, but you don't get it. I gotta. And they don't. No. You just need to get to that place where you are strong. And when you go in, you on some Jedi mind trick stuff.
Because you made it this far in a video, I want to celebrate you. Most people start and don't finish. Most people never actually follow through. Most people say they want something, but they don't ever do the work to actually get it. But you are different. You are special. Believe Nation, you made it here all the way to the end, and I love you. So as a special celebration, if you put a hashtag Believe down in the comments below on this video, I will showcase you and celebrate you somewhere on the screen in a future video because you are awesome.
For 10 more amazing rules from Les Brown, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
One of the first qualities of a warrior is courage. You want to live your life from now on with courage, that most people take their talents, abilities, and skills to the grave with them.